Hey everybody, we're back. Incredible Hoax. Once again, I'm Mark Hoke.
I'm Chris Oak. And
Yes.
I actually had a couple brain lapse and couldn't remember how to start the show. So there's how we start the show. What are we going to talk about today? Do you want to talk about in general and then the specifics?
Sure, that's a good format.
Go ahead. What are we talking about today?
Well, the Star Wars trailer for those movie fans out there.
Episode 7, The Force
Awakens. That certainly got a lot of web action for sure.
Not an inspiring title, but that's the title nonetheless.
Yeah, I totally, that title doesn't inspire me.
No.
My first thought is like, so the Force is asleep? I mean,
Well, I mean, I thought the Force was like...
Now, if it's
the Jedi awaken, I think would make. I thought the Force was very present.
Well, and if the evil's coming back, if evil's coming back, wouldn't it make more sense to say the Empire Awakens?
Well, see,
that would have seemed like a better title if you're going to have a trilogy. You have somewhere to go.
Well, the Force is spirituality,
sure.
In the Christian sense, it'd be the Holy Spirit, but I'm not going there. I'm just saying, in the Christian sense, it'd be the Holy Spirit. So it's always there and it's always present, right? So, with the end of Return of the Jedi, he's a Jedi. He's the only Jedi now because he's the only one left alive. The Force is strong within Leia. You had the Force all up in the Sith, which is still the Force. They're bad guys, but it's still the Force.
Yeah.
So the Force was like...
Yeah, it was the dark side.
It was everywhere.
Force, yeah.
It was everywhere. But maybe they're talking about something else we don't know about, and we need to, I guess, reserve judgment. Maybe there's some other element they're talking about. I don't know.
Yeah.
But what did you think of the trailer in general?
I was underwhelmed, as the shortest way I can put it. I was underwhelmed. Now, I think that J.J. Abrams, there's just so much interest in this new film.
Right.
And YouTube is filled with, and I am not exaggerating, has to be hundreds of these fan trailers.
Yeah, fake trailers.
These fake trailers out there.
There are so many that our other brother, Gerald, sent me a text to actually send him the real one because he couldn't find what the real one was.
I can sympathize. It took me over 10 minutes to find
the real one.
The real one, because there was just so many. One I clicked on and it was a joke. It was like a comical trailer, and I was like, oh gosh, I'm not doing this. So I zipped out of YouTube and found another website where I could find it. IMDb, I think.
What underwhelmed you? Why did it underwhelm you? You think?
Well, for me, I was using the original cast as kind of a barometer. You know, I'm looking at where Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, Harrison Ford. I'm looking to see how they're going to be used, and how they look in this new film. Because we want to know if they really look old, and like this, and they look like past their prime or whatever. Yeah, because a lot of times these franchises will years later get a sequel, and then after it's over, you're like, boy, they went to that well one too many times.
Sure.
And so for me, it's like we want to know, we want this movie to be good, but we kind of want to get an indication if, we don't want that original cast to embarrass themselves.
No.
So we'd like to see a little indication of what they're doing, and that's what I was looking for. Well, we don't know the new cast, so
the Harrison Ford, and we won't stay on this subject too much, but Harrison Ford has not taken as great care of his career as us Harrison Ford fans wanted him to. He's like, it's almost like I wish we could have all picked the movies he would have done post Last Crusade. He had a few good ones, Air Force One, and a few other ones there where he nailed it. But for the most part, post Last Crusade, he pretty much butchered the whole operation.
Yeah, The Fugitive, that was good.
Yeah, there's a few pluses, but for the most part, he butchered it. And so now that he's back in a franchise we know and love, and he screwed up Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which I don't know. I don't lay all the blame on him, because I think Spielberg and Lucas had a major hand in that. But we want him to be successful, so I get what you're saying. The point is, you want to see where are we at now with these guys?
Yeah, right.
How's Harrison Ford going to hold up?
Well, that's
in this.
That's
he
our
didn't give you that,
line.
huh?
That's our connecting.
link
to this. Yeah.
I'll get more specific. What underwhelmed me? one of the things I don't like about the J.J. Abrams Star Trek is how the Enterprise now is treated just like any other ship. It's almost like treated like a plane or a fighter plane.
The Millennium Falcon?
No. No,
the Enterprise.
The Enterprise.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The J.J. Abrams Star Trek, the Enterprise is treated almost like a fighter plane.
Okay.
I think they destroy it in Khan, the newest one, Star Trek 2, or whatever crappy title it had.
It wrecks in San Fran into darkness.
Yeah, they keep wrecking it into stuff. I think they damaged it heavily in the first one, I think, and they treat it like it's just another object. And it's like the Enterprise was held dear. In Star Trek 3, when they self-destructed it, it's like a heavy moment in the movie.
Yeah.
And they're like, I mean, Kirk's voice is cracking up, knowing he's fixing to blow up his ship.
Right.
And then now in J.J. Abrams Star Trek, it's just throwing it around.
Right.
It moves too fast. In that shot where the Millennium Falcon does the flip and turn, the TIE fighters run past and stuff, I already know what I'm going to see. He's going to totally do the same thing that he did with the Enterprise of the Millennium Falcon. And that's going to carry over to the rest of it. He's going to half-ass it. I'm telling you right now, he's half-assing this. I'm telling you, mark my words, 2014, a year from now, when you watch it, J.J. Abrams is half-assing this production. Mark my words. Because of the care of... go back and look at that shot and think about how the Enterprise is treated in Star Trek. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I think of really material you see in this teaser, I think is about 65 seconds. So
yeah, I understand.
You really, it's really hard to judge. I mean, I think, like I said, he threw that out there to kind of, there's such clamor for it, and then you got all the fake trailers. So I think he threw that out there to kind of whet people's appetite a little bit.
Yeah.
Right down to a provocative stormtrooper, which has really set the web ablaze. With what does that mean? Or are they no longer clones? What does that mean with the stormtroopers? So it is kind of early to say, but I think bringing on co-writer Lawrence Kasdan, who wrote Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, that gives me some hope. Yeah.
Do you think my concern is unfounded? Do you think that's a legitimate concern?
I think it's premature at this point. But I mean,
Well, so, I'll tell you why I asked that. I think I am level-headed and reasonable about most any film issue or franchise, except for two. RoboCop and Star Wars, I cannot detach emotion from. I cannot detach personal feelings from. I can't do it. They're too... I mean, dude, Star Wars to me was like a memory. It came out in 77. I was born in 76, so I've said this before. Watching it, it was a memory to me as real as like riding in a car or eating dinner or something. It was a part of my visual memory,
the fabric of our youth, really.
Well, yeah, I mean, like it's a part of my memory of the first time you did this, you rode a bike, or whatever. It's there because we saw it so often. It's so young. It's part of my actual memory.
Sure.
Okay, so I cannot detach emotion from my points of view on Star Wars. So I say that to say, watching that trailer, I'm sitting here watching it, I'm like, that was the feeling I had. Is it reality or is it facts? No. Is it the feeling I had? Yes. My feeling is watching that Millennium Falcon shot, I'm like, oh God, here we go again. He's going to abuse it like he did the the Enterprise, and he's going to half-ass it. That was my thought. But
well, with Star Trek, Abrams worked on 2 films.
Yes.
And so you clearly have that to be in your defense. You had those 2 films to look at. There's clearly things about the way he approached that, particularly with the Enterprise, that you're not a fan of. So you have a concern there. So I would say you certainly have a legit concern.
Okay.
We don't know if they're unfounded or not at this point, or they're justified, rather. We don't know if they're justified at this point.
Yeah.
Now, I think Abrams just wanted to make Star Trek less cerebral, and I think he might have got a little carried away. That Into Darkness got
Into Darkness. That's what it's called.
yeah, it got way carried away. Go ahead.
Yeah. Into Darkness was one of those movies that, as I watched, I'm kind of like, it was so drug out. Oh my lord! So I hope we get J.J. Abrams from Mission Impossible 3, J.J. Abrams from the first Star Trek. The first Star Trek had its problems, but it was an entertaining movie.
Yeah.
I hope we get that J.J. Abrams, not way too much crap going on in Into Darkness, because I was really let down by
Well,
that.
and it committed the unpardonable sin in film, as you know, which is you take the action out of the hero's hands.
Right.
Because at one point, it's really in Star Trek Into Darkness, the movement of the plot is really in Khan's hands, and that
Peter Weller, right?
Peter Weller, the bad general,
Who plays RoboCop, by the way.
Yeah.
All right, we have more to say on Star Wars. We're at the 11-minute mark or so. So we will pick it up in part 2 of our Star Wars teaser trailer rant. So stay tuned.